Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another Simple Easy Marketing event. My name is Tim Gillette, and it has been a while since I have actually put on an event here in the Facebook group with some trainings for you guys. And I thought, man, it was scheduled for today. Let me do some stuff and share with some stuff that people have asked me to share recently about what's going on. So over the past couple months, really since January of 2022 started, my life has gotten into a little disheaval, shall we say. What I mean by that is, started out in January 22, I got COVID for the second time. It put me down for about 7 days this time, and it really disrupted my world. I was supposed to have a virtual event. I couldn't do it because I was sick and basically couldn't move that much. So I decided, okay, put it on hold. About that time, I stopped, not purposely, but kind of stopped putting out my weekly newsletter. I kind of took a break onto it. Then as months went on, in about May, we did our last Tim Gillette show for a while. And people said, what's up with that, right? They'd always see me on other people's events, other people's shows. But I was still doing my joint podcast with both Gladys Boutwell and Katrina Garcia. But Tim Gillette show has not been up there. And in the last virtual event we really did was April. We've had them kind of sporadic over this year, all right, because life got a little unorganized for me. Can you just be honest with you? Life is going to throw you some shit. It's the way life is. And I kind of kept silent. I kind of didn't go out with a lot of heavy marketing. I've done, little things here and there, but kind of kept silent. And a couple of weeks ago, I put out a thing calling it, I'm breaking the silence and sharing with you guys what I was facing, what I was going through, what I was thinking, because some people said, Tim, you're quitting. What are you leaving? Are you disappearing off into the sweet by and by? Did your Bitcoin fail and all of a sudden you're broke and homeless or what? I wasn't involved with Bitcoin. I have some, but it really wasn't. But it seems like a lot of things over this past year have gotten to me. I looked at the self-help industry as a whole while reevaluating my own health, my own life, my own world. I wanted to look at what was going on. And I decided to take a good, deep look into it and kind of pull back and take a break. In taking a break, I found some things that just annoyed me. And being real, I was going to quit. I was going to say, that's it. I'm throwing in the towel. I'm going to go off and do something else where I can control the environment, control what I do, and not have to worry about, the whiners, the complainers, all right, the scammers, all right, and all those things that are going on in our world, in the self-help industry. Maybe, just maybe, you relate. Talking with some people in the industry, all right, we've talked about this over the past couple of weeks, and they said, I'm starting to feel that too. Starting to feel that too. What I've looked at in a self-help industry is I've noticed an awful lot of people in the self-help industry who do not believe in what they're preaching. They're only preaching it to sell you something. Now, you can get great help from those people because there are programs and stuff that will actually help you move forward. However, it became evident to me that a lot of people behind what they were teaching was not what they believed. They were only doing it merely to make money. I did not want to be around the company of those people. When we look at what we do in our lives, what we face, what we struggle with, all right, the things that we just struggle. I don't know if I want to put the word struggle. The things that we see in the world that we just don't agree with. The scammers. The troublesome people. The ones who say they're going to help you, but really are only helping themselves. You found up on them lately? It seems to me like I've seen a lot of them, and they worried me. Anyway, I decided to move forward with it. Because what I looked at was, whenever you are frustrated or down with something you're going through, and just pick what it is, whatever it is that you're down with. Maybe you're upset with. Maybe you're frustrated with a plan that's not moving forward. Maybe, just maybe, there's an opportunity there for you to fix something. I faced some tough times over the last couple months, and I got a little unorganized. Maybe you've gotten that way once or twice in your business, whether it be an online business, an offline business. All right, an unorganized part of you frustrated you, and you couldn't bounce back from it. And the more you looked at where you were at, all right, the more you've seen others who you thought were even more unorganized than you, and you went, oh man, I can't pull myself up. I can't get out of this mess that I've created. Look, Sally can't get out of their mess, and so I can't get out of mine. Look, George is in a mess, and George can't pull out. And if George can't do it, man, I can't either. It's scary how that may be. There is a way to get out. One of the programs, all right, is I'm going to talk about being organized today. One of the programs that I actually wrote many, many years ago, and I don't even have it up here. It's down in my other files. I used to keep it up here in the files in case I ever wanted to work on it. Was the program I wrote called You Don't Need a Life Coach, How to Fix Your Own Damn Life in 90 Days. And I seen the concept in another book, and I thought, man, I could do that myself. But I wanted it to be funny as well as sarcastic, so I've never gotten it done because I was trying to find a way to put a story to each day's task to let you understand how to do it. But the concept itself and the Simple, Easy Success System that I wrote are both built on the very concept of, if you're at where you're at right now and you feel you can't get out, start one step at a time. That after January, February, March, April, May, June, and now we're into July, realizing how much I've let things slip over the past 6 months. And how it's time to get organized again and start to put things back into things where your habits control your daily tasks. Your daily tasks control the progression of your success. And the progression of your success is because you wrote down and said, I wanted to go there. That's what we do. And I realized as I got organized, and I realized that Tim, I've not done, Tim, you're not doing any of your marketing anymore. Tim, you're not doing anything that actually helps people. You're sitting back and wallowing in your own crap rather than helping people. You're in the business, in the self-help industry, to help people. If you're not helping people, you're not doing any good. So I looked at it. I looked over my system yesterday and today, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do today's broadcast, but I'm going to do it about one of the things that I struggle with myself. Right now, I'm struggling literally with what it is. But yet every time one of my clients, actually one of my mastermind members, Linda, actually was talking with me about this a couple of weeks ago. And she said, man, you're just so organized. And I'm like, Linda, I'm not. I'm so unorganized. It frustrates me. And too often, I think what the problem of it is we judge ourselves by looking at our worst when others are looking at our best. Do you understand that? So when you're talking with one of your friends and they're looking at you and go, man, you're so good at that. Inside, you're looking at all the things going wrong while they're looking at all the things going right in what you're doing. And getting organized is nothing more than a couple of steps of taking tasks down one by one and moving forward. Speaking of getting organized, This belongs in another file. It does not belong here with this topic. So let me move that down here to the file again later to handle. But I wanted to pull these up because one of the things that I tell people about doing that I've done, and everybody says, you should teach this, is building your own system for organization. My coach, my mentor, when I go to his house, all right, he is super organized to me. And it motivates the crap out of me when I go there and see it, which means I should probably visit his house more often. I would probably get more motivated. But every time I do go to his house, I see something new of something he's been telling me he's doing for years. All right. And Craig is great about this. He tells me all the things he's doing for years. And then I have to come in and see it again for the first time in a long time and go, yeah, that's it. I need to do that. And I go home and put it into my system. For instance, all right, and I'm going back to this experience because it's one of the things I actually said on his testimonial I did for him recently on his page was I talked to him about, I talked about this very idea that he shared many, many years ago. And he shares this concept called change or die. And Craig, I'm going to steal it. Since you're stealing my cat story, I'm going to steal your change or die story. He talks about how some people, when they get things like a heart bypass surgery, they don't change their habits after they get the surgery. They continue living the way they were. And living the way they were is what caused the damage to their heart in the first place. And usually they pass away within a short amount of time because they never changed the thing that caused the problem. They only did a fix on the problem. And he talked about that concept, and he tells me, I'm going to change or die. And the first time it really got me, I want to say it was 2013, that it hit me hard because I realized that was my father. My father got a heart bypass surgery, didn't change his habits, all right, was on medication, stopped taking the medication, and died with another blockage just below where the bypass was done. Change or die meant a lot to me. So as most of you are probably going to watch this as a recording, it will be put into the portal, all right, as well as those people who are members of the simple, what we called for years, the Simple Easy Marketing Virtual Events membership. I don't have fancy names. My fancy names are so unfancy, all right? I don't feel cool sometimes, but I realized we have a purpose behind what we do. I got organized when I started, during the pandemic, I got organized with helping you and realizing that some of you just need to watch the trainings in bit-sized pieces here and there. So we created a portal so people could come into the portal, all right, and look at all of the stuff and maybe going down by topic or by subject, all right, and get the help they need when they needed it. That's what I find great about self-help programs. If I go to a self-help program, let me pull a random book down here to show you this very concept really quick is, where is it? I know it's in here. I must have gotten rid of that book. All right, so let me grab this one here because if not, this gentleman, I am not in any one of his programs or anything like that, but I know he has programs. John Maxwell wrote a book called Failing Forward. John Maxwell's book has several different things into it that I looked at chapters, all right, chapters and sections. Content, all right. Preface is one area. Second area, redefining failure and success is a section. And it goes into 4 chapters. Then it goes into do you mind changing your mind? 1, 2, 3, 4 more chapters. What I find great about self-help is I can take any one of these main topics and just go study that area if I need a refresher course. Or I could grab this one here, make failure your best friend, which is 1 chapter. And go, man, I need to make failure my best friend. And I can go reread that chapter at any point in time. I had another book up here that I would use that as a perfect example, but apparently I don't have the book anymore. I don't know where it went. But the concept behind self-help is you actually have the content that you need to read as the uplifter. Just like me going to Craig's house to learn to be organized, you can go, man, I'm unorganized. Where's that? I read that in one of the books or I have that in one of the programs, all right, that I know it was taught in a section. And you can go to that section of content and get a refresher course at any point in time you want. That's what we built the Simple Easy Virtual Events membership for. You can go back in there anytime from now through eternity and watch the history. This year will be one of those things that are in there. See, that's what when I said I was frustrated with self-help. It's one of the things I realized that self-help wasn't doing. They weren't helping people. They were helping themselves to money. And yes, we should all be, well compensated for what we do. You should be paid for what you do. But when getting paid is your top priority and not helping people is your top priority, your pay is going to diminish over time. And that was the frustrating part to me. So I thought about getting reorganized again. I thought, man, as Linda said to me, I really like this. Maybe I should teach this as part of, a monthly class. So I've got four main subjects with a couple of sub-subjects. Is number one, all right, you've got to, to get organized, you got to have a system. Now, you will read 1,000,001 systems. I got 24, maybe 36 different books here, another dozen over there with people's self-help programs and courses that I have. All right, I've got most of them are put away in the closets and packed up because I'm selling my house and moving. Speaking of which, this will be the last virtual event broadcast probably from this studio. My next one is scheduled for August 12th. And I will not be here. This house will be sold by then. I will be gone. And I don't know where that one will be because that's going to be broadcasting it from my oldest stepson's house because we'll be staying there. Our new house will be ready to go in on the 19th or 20th of August. But I got things put away. I've got tons of them. And getting organized, all right, is being able to go into the self-help and get help anytime I want. A refresher course. You should be reading and going through somebody's course almost always, at all times. It should be part of your education process. You should be doing something to improve your life, even if you schedule 5 to 10 minutes a day or an hour a week. I personally schedule, all right, in my own system, 2 hours a week. In my calendar, 2 hours a week. Monday between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. Central Time, and Wednesday between 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. Central Time. Those are 2 hours of organization and strategy and purpose and building for the next week that no one, and I do mean no one, can schedule anything during that time. I don't allow it. In the cases where I do allow it, it is usually very, very slim chances that I allow somebody to come in for that hour. And I purposely set that out so, if I have to do something around it, is I can back the hour up or something like that. But those times are spent as organized. That helps keep me organized, is spending an hour during that time during the week. I don't take phone calls during that time. Oh, wow. All right. Apparently, I'm going to go help be part of a training. I don't carry the phone with me. I don't get distractions from it. All right. I don't take phone calls. I don't open my email. My email's shut down. I don't have my Facebook open or any of that stuff during those 2 hours because those 2 hours are basically set to refine my schedule and make it easy. Got it? Number one. Number two in this, all right, when making a system your own, all right, you've got to operate how you work. If you are if you're over 30 years of age, you have to have taken some time to study how your body works, study how you operate, find out what your optimal position is, all right, find things that make you optimal at what your best work days are, work part of the day to work, which means, all right, I am no good at doing anything before 8 a.m. I don't wake up before 8 a.m. hardly ever, unless I've got something going on. I've got to go to a meeting or something like that where I've got to get up early and be at it at 9. I never schedule anything with a client before 10 a.m. Most of the time it's 11 a.m. But I let people access my calendar sometimes before 10 a.m. or I'll schedule something in between 10 and 11. But most of the time, if you accessed any one of my calendars to book any time, it's 11 a.m. my time before I will actually do anything. That's learning to operate and where my optimal zone is. You've got to know what your optimal zone is. I have a friend who basically his operational zone is between 6 p.m. all right, and 11 p.m. Works great during that time. The rest of the world's, at home, having dinner and goofing off, watching TV. Not him. That's his optimal time. I know somebody else who actually their optimal time goes to organize and do things is from 11 p.m. to midnight. So they know that's the optimal time. They know that's when the brain's working. All right, that's when it's going to be my creative time, whatever it is. The point being is you got to find and build make your system your own. You got to operate how you work. And you got to use what works for you to your greatest advantage, all right, as an entrepreneur. Once you start, and last point on this, once you start, you're going to learn it's the fact of building habits, not the fact of writing it down, which I'll get to in a bit. Got it all written down. But if the habits don't take place, writing it down doesn't do any good. You've got to build habits. Your system has got to be built around habits you do. Right now, one of the things that I am rewriting and trying to redo is creating my own morning routine. I attended Craig Duswalt's event over the past weekend, all right, which Dr. Fab was there. Many of you know I've had Dr. Fab on my podcast. I will get him as speaking to you guys. All right, one of these days I'll have him come in because he taught me, Tim, you got to have a morning routine, something that brings you back to life every day. Habits. I am right now. That's one of the things I'm trying to plan out and get myself a morning routine. Getting up at a certain time, doing certain tasks, taking supplements I need to take. All right. Exercising, putting on my brain tap machine and actually getting my mind working. Meditation. All right. Getting my coffee. We all think about this morning routine. Before the pandemic, my morning routine was I get up, I literally threw on my hat, threw on some clothes, and I went and got coffee. I sat at the coffee shop, and if you see me at the coffee shop, I look like a bum because I just crawled out of bed, washed my face, and I took off to the coffee shop. Didn't take a shower, didn't do any of that stuff. And I waited till later in the day to take my shower. That was what my routine was. My routine with the pandemic changed because the proximity of things changed. I had to change my habits. Now my habit is entirely different when I get up. And that is why I realized that over the years, habits have developed and changed. And if I don't get my morning routine written down, put together in a system that will work and create new habits with it, it will be something that the habits will control me instead of me controlling the habits. Habits are going to control what you do. So you got to make habits, good habits that go in there. And that's part of creating your own system. The second area, number one, system. The second area I wanted to cover today, and that was filing, keeping your files organized. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Because of moving, all right, I have a filing cabinet up here that was our old filing cabinets, right? And it's falling apart, and it's a nice wood one. It was part of the old office decorated when I was in the old house, all right, but it's falling apart, and I had everything on top of it, all right? I had bends like I have over here on top of it with those like in and out bend, and then I had stacks to put the files in like I have over here, and I had a ton of stuff over there, and then I had the in and out bend was filled to the point that the in and out bend, in bend, out bend, all right, got this organized, it's got to go here now, got to get filed. The bottom file bend was so highly stacked that the other bend was not, they weren't clicked together, they were sitting on top of each other. And I had two stacks like this. And I kept saying, yeah, I got this girl, Rebecca, used to do my filing for me. I said, man, I got to get Rebecca over here and pay her to help her organize my files. And finally, I realized one day, I just got to get up and do it. Because people are going to be coming to my house to look at it to buy. And the last thing they need to do is see the filing from the house that I sold 15 years ago. They don't need to see the filing of what I had to do to, where I got my appliances from. They don't need to see the filing, all right, of you name it. All that stuff was stacked there for ages, and I wasn't taking care of it. And it made me realize I needed to get filing organized. So what I did was, number one, when I was building in the bar in here in the office last year, I built this whole thing that was a cool looking moonshine bar, and I bought a filing cabinet / drawer like I have down here to go underneath it. And I liked the filing cabinets into it, so I changed out and put a filing cabinet down there. All right, that I can put certain stuff in that one. Then I had another one that was over there, and I changed that and took that one out and put the and I put it over here. So here I have a filing cabinet that has everything I'm working on now, everything that relates to this business, Simple Easy Marketing, that I need to work on, whether it be programs, things like that I need to access right away, like on a regular basis. If I need to access it daily, or if it's a project I'm working on, it has a file up on top of my desk in one of the little file folders. If it's with the company, all right, and it's stuff that's records, all right, needs to be kept records, and I need to keep things, it's in a filing cabinet back here. And the old filing cabinet has all of our personal stuff into it and our real estate stuff. I got my files done and organized in a way that I know, all right, where I got to go to get to which section of files, as opposed to before, I had one filing cabinet that had a real estate business, personal life, coaching business, speaking business, all right, and then all these other documents in life and business on each house, all in a 2-drawer filing cabinet. And that's why the filing cabinet is falling apart. It just did not uphold that. Rather than separating things out and be able to access and other stuff in different areas, that is where I got it. I got that from going to Craig Duswalt's house. I got up to Craig's house and he showed me, oh yeah, in this desk drawer I have this, and this desk drawer I have this, and then he goes out and he shows me in his garage where he's got everything put down into bins in the garage, to where he basically goes and pulls the bin out. And he knows what that bin's for. You go to my storage bin right now, you're lost. I'm lost. And I'm going to have to organize it and move it. As I move up to the new house, I'm going to get myself more organized. Got to be done. No longer going to be this mismatched system. All right. That's what getting the files on offline and in your office. Online. I have 2 different virtual things that I use for, or 2 different clouds. I use Dropbox and I use iCloud. Certain stuff on iCloud that I can grab anytime with any one of my computers and drop it, even my phone, and drop it into iCloud. And I can access it. Dropbox has things that go between my 2 computers because I pull my files up on the 2 computers. That's this desktop that I'm on, as well as my laptop. And I actually usually I've created my PowerPoints for, like, I'm speaking at an event, I create the PowerPoints on here, and then I put it in Dropbox so that I can access it from Dropbox as long as I have a Wi-Fi connection from anywhere. In the case of, we're buying a house, I use Dropbox to put it in there. Well, Dropbox has, and I probably could show you guys just a little bit. So here's what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you guys my filing system, just to get down into it, to show you really to be, let's share screen. I don't need that one anymore, so I can clean that off. We're going to do this screen right here. So this is my filing system, and I know some of you guys can see this, some of you can't, but here on this system here, I have several different folders here. Let's go to here. This is my downloads folder. I download from the download to this computer. And here's the point right now. These are all the stuff that I actually have to go through to organize and send things. However, right now I have on this computer documents for this house because I'm selling it. Bank documents I need to access. My projects that I'm working on, current projects. Wait a minute. That one needs to go inside that folder, come to think of it, right? Deals I'm working on in real estate. These are files from an old computer. Needs to go in there. Oh, it's because there's 2 in there. This is part of the real estate that I'm working on. These are DocuSigns that I have to do for each houses. And this is promo folders, which a lot of these things will go in. But all of this stuff here, all these pictures were stuff that I've created in the past week. All right. And I know personally that this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one, and this one here, and this one, they were all stuff I created for Craig Duswalt's thing. I came home one night because I needed it at the function. So I come home and created it. And I come home and created it, printed it all off, and took it back up the next day. I can move those to the trash because they were a one-time deal. I don't need to keep them. I got a couple other ones here. I can go boom, 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 boom. Same thing. Move to trash, just like that. Everything I have is a file that I know to access. Now I come up here to recents. This one here can get so confusing, and it opens to recents more times than you want to know. Desktop. I hardly have anything on my desktop. I just don't. I don't keep things on my desktop. I keep my desktop clear, and I keep everything in a file. Documents on this computer. All right. Okay. Now, I'm not sure why Zoom is there, but anyway, we'll keep it there. We'll put it in here for now. But anyway, there's three things. I have personal and two different businesses of documents I need to keep on this computer to access. That's why they're here. Then I go to Dropbox. When I get into Dropbox, as you see, my Dropbox looks so smaller than anything. This one here goes in there. Everything down here is something that's got to go in one of these files. Homes. We have several homes. All right. This one here is now sold. So I can pull all that out because that one's sold. This is the house I'm buying. My new house. No. Don't have anything into it. This is the house I'm selling. So that's homes, events. All right, here I have all the events. If you see down here is all my April videos have not been put into a folder yet. I've got to put them into a folder. All right, but here, let me go back into here. Virtual events. All of these here will get put into, because they're in here, into this folder. This is here, part of that folder. Part of that folder. All right. All of my speakers individually, and I basically have put it, they're up on, the speakers are broken down, put up onto YouTube. I take these videos and I store them here until I get my Dropbox so full. And at the end of the year, at the end of each year, I pull them out like they're here. If you see, it's kind of a cloud look as opposed to a check mark. That means the cloud is, it's kind of really, really secured in there, and I have to re-download them. So why I do that is because these are now put onto an external drive. So everything's external, and I don't have it here because they were put onto a place to play. So when people go in there, I think they're unlisted videos on YouTube. But that's how this event here is sponsors. Everything from everybody who's ever sponsored my event, which this one here was a sponsor. I put there. All right. Let's just keep both. So it's in there. May 2020 event. So I would put that in there. These are all the videos. 2022 videos. This is all the videos, but I don't have the stuff organized. 2021 events. It's organized per event. All right. And I still have some of this stuff up here that's not done. Now I go in here to projects I'm working on. As you see, everything's a project I'm working on. These were created and we ended up doing the project, not doing it. But blog posts. Lauren was one of my clients. Lisa Gold was one of my clients. I have a Tom Petty opt-in page that I'm changing. Simple Easy marketing programs that I'm working on. For instance, these are all the programs that I'm working on right now. And then I have scripts. So I write scripts for every one of my videos, and I keep them in here in case I ever go back to them. Those are projects. Tim, this here is our personal stuff. My wife and I's personal things that we keep in here. All right. And it's done there. Tim Gillette Media. That's the name of my company, by the way, is Tim Gillette Media. I go in here and it has all this stuff down here. Now, this here's an image that was used. I used this as part of a speaking gig I did this past weekend at Craig Russell's event. I actually use this out and print this out and read it as a joke when I speak at events. All right. That there can go into promo photos. I have a PowerPoint down here that would go into PowerPoints. See, everything has an organization to where it goes. X2 Invest, this is the corporation that we had for our real estate, which we are dissolving. It is now a new different thing. And that's that. I mean, this whole thing is going to change because that corporation is being dissolved right now. But here's the one that everyone asks me about, podcasts. I go into podcasts and see I have Tim Gillette Show, Simple Easy Podcast, Business G-Spot, and Like the Way You Drink. Like the Way You Drink's photos are right here because I grab it, and I usually have the one as well for the Business G-Spot. I usually have that one here, which is this one here out there. Move anyway. These ones here, I move into here. I don't need them unless I have to access them. But here, I will put this into podcasts. That there is because every now and then I need the thumbnail to make it create to put the podcast up when I'm doing my StreamYard. So I have that right there so I can reach in there and grab them. But now I go into the Tim Gillette Show and I have audio and video. Audio, season 2, season 3, all the way up to season 9, right? Season 9 being our last one. And basically I go in there and it has all of the audio from that season in there, videos. Season 8 was the last time I did videos. See, this is the videos for people who were in season 8 and season 6. See, all the videos who were in season 6. I keep a copy of them in case I ever have to get them for backup. Down here, these are not organized and have to go in yet. Again, I keep the images out here in case I go to do a show. I actually can access them really quick. My point behind sharing all of this with you, and I'm going to stop sharing now, is make it your system. Keep organized so that you know where you're going through. The other day, I had to look for a PowerPoint that I couldn't find. And I'm like, oh, where's my PowerPoint? And I found out that I had PowerPoints in 2 different spots. So I had to move them all to the PowerPoint where I showed you inside Tim Gillette Media. That's where all my PowerPoints. You go in there and it's all organized. The PowerPoints for virtual events, PowerPoints for speaking at live events, PowerPoints for my own meetups, PowerPoints for my own live events, PowerPoints for other people's events. You know what I mean? PowerPoints for sales videos, all organized in there. So I know once I do it, I can put it in a file and keep it. And then I get to go back and go, okay, I need a PowerPoint that I'm talking on this subject. Do I have a PowerPoint already written about it? Can I go in there and find it? Or I find a lot of things I asked to be talked about is repurpose your content. I can go in and use another PowerPoint I have, all right, add 7 to 10 slides to it and use it, all right, and tweak it quite a bit to be able. But I have the framework for every one of them that goes with my events, and I always have the pictures there to access it. My point to all this, ladies and gentlemen, is build a filing system out so that you can actually start to get organized. And little by little, you can take pieces of things off your desk. At the end of the night, my desk has 2 things onto it. All right. My pens are always right there. My keyboard, my mouse. My mouse just broke. It's a good thing. Oh, wow, Tim, you really screwed up that mouse, didn't you? No, I won't be able to connect and do anything with my things. But anyway, my mouse will come back here in a minute. I hope. Boy, it would suck if I actually ruined my mouse on this show, wouldn't it? There it goes. It's coming back in now. All right, we're connected again. But I have all that done. Paperwork like this goes over here at the end of the day. I don't keep it there. The desk is clear when I come off. When I do my podcast on Monday nights with Gladys, after I'm done, I take everything off the desk. I get cleaner. I spray the cleaner on the desk. I wipe it all clean, and then I put stuff back on the desk. The only thing that stays permanently mounted to my desk is this computer right here, and it is permanently mounted to my desk so that my cats won't turn it over again, and 2 other monitors. All right, and a Stream Deck. All right, everything is organized so that I don't feel unorganized at that. The next subject I want to go into, I remember first we had system, then we have files. Next I'm going to go into is called daily schedule. Daily schedule. I have, and by the way, I've created for my company, and I'm going to put this up here and see. Tim Gillette Media Daily Tasks. The last thing it was, the last time I updated it was April of 2022. So if I go into, there's a checklist in one of my files that I can update these. All right, daily checklists. On a monthly basis, these are things that I have to do. These are text tasks I have to do every month. The next thing I have is now I go into daily tasks. See, this is my daily tasks. Business, personal. And every now and then they change. So I write down the changes. So the next time I do the update, it gets typed in. All right. Each day, that's Monday. Monday has the longer list. Tuesday has smaller lists. Wednesday has smaller lists. Thursday, Friday, smaller lists. Monday's always the biggest list that I have to do. That is just daily tasks. All of these are put together, all right, in a operations manual that's great for the whole thing. So basically, anybody can ever look at my company and see this is what I've done, and they can basically go, okay, well, he did this to make updated stuff. That they know it. This here is for daily tasks. I have each one of them down, and as I go down, I know I have to do them. Do I have to look at it every day and go, okay, Tim, yeah, you need to take the garbage out on Monday? I don't necessarily have to read that to know Monday. I build it into a habit. because I built it in a habit by writing it down. But in the case where I've took several months off, did not look at the lists, I go back and go, okay, I need to get organized again. Let me open up the daily checklist and let me see. Monday, this is what I'm supposed to do. And I go do it. The point behind it is that creating a daily schedule will help you keep on task. One of the things on my every day's daily schedule is, all right, work on to-do list. To-do list is over here. One of the things my mentor, Craig Duswalt, does, and I tried it for a while and it didn't work for me, to see if this is the book, was he actually does his in a book like this. I used to use these as idea books, so I'm not really using them that way anymore. But he would put the date in a checklist, the date in the checklist, and then check it all off, so he had it down on record. I stopped doing this a couple months ago, and I went back to the way I used to do. I write it down on a sheet like this. And at the end of the day, when it's done, rip it off, throw it in the trash. Done. Waste a lot of paper, but it's done. I don't have to go back and do a checklist as to whether I did it or not. Not sure I'm going to stick with that system, but that's what I did. I put it down as a daily task because then this here is the little things I have to do. This here is the habits I have to create. Two different things, because even though Monday says do this, this, and this, the to-do list on Monday may be, hey, which is one of the things I had to do for Friday was go get the insurance quote for the new house. It's all done in an organized fashion. Creating a daily schedule, all right, and the habits that will go off it, you will actually find that your life will become simpler and simpler, all right, and make it easier for you to get the task done, all right, when you simply put down and never have to think about what you have to do, because now you just open up the piece of paper and go, checklist today. Did I organize something? Did I work on an outline for one of my products? Did I do my to-do list? Did I put this in my Facebook group? Did I set up the podcast that's supposed to be broadcast tonight? Did I take the garbage out? Did I? Okay, all 7 tasks are done. To-do list is done. It's 2:00 in the afternoon. I'm done for the day, right? Now I can go play my game. Now I can go take one of my education courses, things like that. It's getting organized that saves your life. The next thing I'll put down there is creating checklists. The daily task is a checklist. But here's things I have for a checklist that most people know, all right, and most people have been on my Tim Gillette show know. This is the Tim Gillette show checklist. Totally separate for that show. Before the show, check guest websites to make sure it is working the morning of the show. All right, this is the day of the show. Number 2, set up StreamYard the morning of the show to go. Number 3, share YouTube link and show website to broadcast live. Email guest login. I have 2 different emails to go to them. Email number 1, today is the day, and it actually says that. Email number 2, looking forward to having you on the show, comes out an hour before they go on the show. 1 hour before they go on the show, log in, add guest name, website, and banner to the and test the system to make it work. 5 minutes before the show, log in and wait for guests. Guest pre-show. I remind the guests when they get on there, hey, today's show is a 45-minute show. It is designed to be a conversation. I don't know the questions I'm going to ask you yet, because it's going to be a conversation as we get to know each other. Towards the end of the show, I'm going to ask you, what is the best website to reach you? And then I show them the website they gave me. If they want it corrected, that's the time I correct it before we go live. Is your website correct? Showing it to them. Then I put up their name and say, did I spell your name correct? And I show them the banner. After that, I say, hey, listen, towards the end of the game, I'm going to have a little game I like to call this or that. I have, and this is what I do with them, all right, I have 5 envelopes, and I show them. Some of you may have seen the show, right? I got 5 envelopes. You pick a number, all right? And if they pick number 4, number 5, and number 3, I lay them down there. I take the ones I don't and put the ones back over here in the file. And then I open up the letters. Each one of these I set them up every day. I do a show and I open it up and read the questions. And I say, just whatever's in the question, answer it, have fun with it. They're not meant to offend, I tell them. Then I say to them, hey, after we finish, and I say goodbye to the audience, stay on the line, all right? So I do a post-show wrap-up with you so you know what happens after this. I've already set my expectations with the checklist. Then I have 2 questions I've added, and I had these last 2 towards the last year. And I said, the first question, I said, I ask the guest, is there anything off limits? Meaning, all right, is there, if this conversation steers towards something, all right, maybe an event they're not announcing yet or something like that, that it's on a checklist to say. So then they say that. I put it in my notes. Do not ask about July 22nd event, because on July 22nd, they haven't announced it yet. Don't ask about it yet. Don't announce it before they're ready to announce it. And then I say to the guest are you working or promoting anything in the near future that you would like me to highlight in the conversation? So then they could say, well, I didn't promote the event on July 22nd, but on August 23rd, we're bringing out our new book. Can we talk about that? So I put that in a note. Ask about book on August 23rd. So I put that in my notes so I know to steer the conversation there to get it out there. Then I go to what I call a post-show wrap-up. This is what I go down telling them about the post-show, and it's on a checklist. Thank you for you're gonna email today. Your YouTube video will be up tomorrow. You're going to email remind it. 7 days from now, it'll be an audio podcast. You're going to email reminding it. Then I remind them, I did not add you to my newsletter. If you added yourself, you get my newsletter. If you don't get it. All right. I don't force people to do it. I share with them, this is what we do for a living. Is there any way that we can help you in those areas? And then I said, ask them if they have any questions about the way the show went, or if they have any feedback on how we can improve the show. I get very few people going, oh yeah, you should do this. Once in a while, I get somebody go, it would have been nice if I gotten this about the show ahead of time. I take that, put that in my notes, and I go put it into this checklist to make sure it's done. Then I have a checklist that's basically post-show. And this tells me everything I've got to do with them. All right. And it goes into an automated process. Show done. Checked off. Monthly meetup. A monthly meetup here in Dallas every month. And most of this revolves around on Tuesdays is what the checklist I have to do. There's one the day before the event, the Monday before the event. But everything is revolved around doing something on a weekly basis because the event is on a Tuesday night. But I put it in a checklist, and part of my daily schedule on Tuesday is do the tasks for that week for the monthly meetup. For my show is broadcast on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Do the tasks required for the show. Those are put in there, but these are put in checklists. I have a virtual events checklist, but I realized I didn't have one printed out. All right. But basically it would put down, so the habits I have to do to make this show happen. The point is this, ladies and gentlemen, every thing that you do, when you start writing it down in a way that you pretend that you're writing it for a company of a dozen people, you have simplified it down to what you do. Now imagine adding an assistant. How easy is it for you to train the assistant on the way things go because you've actually put a system of checks and balances in for your business? Yeah, Tim, but it's just me right now. But someday you may need to add an assistant. And wouldn't it have been easy to say, hey, listen, here's the checklist we do on a monthly basis so you can get up to date on what I do and how you can make my life better. And then they get a copy of it. It's already written out. They know that every Monday that you're going to be working on an outline for something. So they can put on their checklist Monday night, hey, Tim, where's the update on the outline you worked on today? It's already written in a checklist. That is why you want to do something like this. That makes you more organized. The last two things I'm going to put down here today is I'm doing anything you do in organization, whether it be for your podcast, your live broadcast, your show, or your office behind the scenes. The more organized you become, the simpler and easier your systems become to make your business work. And the whole thing about making it simple and easy is not necessarily about what you think is simple and easy. But if you have the mundane things taken out of the way, it makes it simple and easy to take care of your clients. If your system, before you see the clients, is in a dishevel, how are you going to organize when you get thrown in a dozen new clients on the same day, 24 on the same day, 150 clients on the same day? You see, as your business grows and you don't have the systems down, you will complicate your systems and then get frustrated and then go, okay, man, I got to cut my clients back. I can't work on 20 clients. Well, then your income's going to get cut back. When your income gets cut back, then your lifestyle's going to get cut back. Your lifestyle gets cut back. You're going to go, oh my God, I can't stand living a life this way. Then you're going to have to do it a sales pitch. And you end up doing a yo-yo situation. And we end up exactly where I feel I've seen our industry of self-help. We have people in here who are not doing what they teach. They're not doing what they teach because they ride the roller coaster. Oh, I need new clients. Oh, I got too many clients. Oh, I need new clients. Oh, I got too many clients. And that roller coaster causes them to be unauthentic, not real, and not true to you and helping you. I never thought that this information to share with you today was going to be anything of value until one of my clients says, Tim, you need to share that. Some of you, this may have helped. Some of you are like, I'm not tuned into this. I'm checking out of this one. Linda, thank you for telling me this helped you, by the way, because it's people like you that made me come out and share it. I never thought it was anything of importance to my clients. I wasn't doing it for my clients. I was doing it to help me take care of my clients. And in the end, realized it motivated my clients in the way they did things. The bottom line to all of this, when it comes to organization in your life, is you got to create habits. The habits create your success. You can write your goal down all you want in the world. Until you create habits to reach that goal, you're never going to reach it. That's why I never focused on goals. I've always focused on habits. My coach makes me write down a goal. And yes, I have a goal that I told my coach. I actually told it from his stage this weekend. All right, but I have a goal. But my habits every day are what's going to help me reach that goal. And if you haven't learned to put habits into your life that cause you success, get you organized, and make your business move forward for your clients and customers, then you will be on that roller coaster of ups and downs, and you will get into one of those things where you're basically, oh man, I got to do this so I make money. Should never be in the self-help industry to do this to make money. The greatest and most unique thing I ever heard in the self-help industry was I met Rhonda Britton many, many, many years ago. Rhonda, been a long time since I've heard from you, girl, and it would be good to hear from you again. All right, I miss you. Rhonda Britton, sharing at an event, her story. And I'm not going to share Rhonda's story, but she talked about how she struggled with something. And then a friend at church seen her and said, man, Rhonda, you're doing good. What are you doing? And she said, well, these simple little exercises I do to help me feel better. And her friend said, can I do those exercises? And that's when she realized that she was helping herself. And then the self-help that she did on herself to help her help others. I can teach you all the blogging techniques in the world that I've done. I can teach you all the live streaming things I've done, all the virtual event things I've done, all the blah, 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 blah. Bottom line is I'm in the self-help industry to help people, not to help myself. Therefore, everything I do, I better be working on me always. When I see a self-help person who doesn't work on themselves, and I did many, many years ago, probably about 6, 7 years ago, I had a massage therapist that I used to see on a regular basis, and she was teaching me all this holistic stuff to take care of me and my body. All right, eat right, breathe right, all this stuff. And then I asked her one day about, about something that I was supposed to be doing in an exercise mode and how that would help me, all right, and keep healthy. And she says, oh man, you can just take Advil, take that pain away. And I'm like, but I'm trying to holistically take care of my body here from your learnings. But you're like, okay, well, there's drugs to solve that. I don't want drugs to solve the problem. I want to know what I'm doing to take care. I want to fix the problem, not the symptom. And I realized she was someone who was teaching people how to fix the symptoms, but telling them she was helping them fix the problem. She was really just fixing symptoms. And I don't want to be a self-help person who just helps people fix the symptoms. I want to help you get to the root of the problem and solve it and become someone who's self-help. The greatest compliment I got recently, Bob Donnell, love you, brother, love you to death, was Bob Donnell did a thing that was on Lynn Siriano's show. And Bob did this great thing for me. And he said, Tim, somebody's always working on himself. That should be the testimony of everyone in the self-help industry. They're always working on themselves. They're always trying to improve themselves. The greatest thing I can tell you to do to help you do things is my last point here is write it down. Write it down. It's why I keep these tablets everywhere I go. I write it down. If I go someplace and I hear something and I've got moments to sit there, I take a pen and I write the things down. Watching last night, I think with David Fisher, one of my real estate mentors. David Fisher was teaching a class and he's sharing these 5 points. I took my pen out and started writing down. Why? Because I wanted to be engaged in the class. I was at home, not at the live event like I wanted to be. So I started writing down the things to take notes. Before you think you don't need to take notes, I've very rarely seen Zig Ziglar speak live in my years of knowing Zig. But I sat at the table while Zig was sitting and watching one of his students speak. And Zig, sitting there while his student was speaking, had these two things working the whole time. His student was speaking. That's what I want to be. I want to write down things that help me fix it. After I get them done, I get rid of it. Get rid of the outline. But I'm gone because I got accomplished. I no longer have to worry about it. But if it's an outline like that, or actually it's put up onto outlines for things I teach, I keep the outline saved. Anyway, guys, I hope this helped you. If this did, all right, I'm just telling me, hey, Tim, I'm going to go get myself more organized. If you want to do a call to talk about organization, I think you go to timgillette.com. There's a button there that you click that'll actually help you get on to scheduling a 30-minute consultation with me. Love to chat with you and see if I can't help you be better at what you do, be better in your world, your business, your life, all those things. If you'd like to find out more about what we do, all right, you can actually do. We have what we call the Simple Easy is the Simple Easy Gold Mastermind. All right, and you can go to timgillette.com/gold if you want to check into that. All right, it's a program where we actually have weekly calls, and you actually get into programs that will help you, guide you to be self-help, helping yourself, so you can help your clients help themselves. That's what we do. So you want to find out more about me, go to timgillette.com. All right. In the meantime, guys, I hope today's small lesson helped you with something. We will be back on target with doing more webinar classes, more advanced classes, and things like that for you, the people in the membership. All right. To the people outside the membership, join the membership because this is not the only time you get to see this. So this was broadcast into our two groups today. Number one, the group that actually has all bloggers, and podcasters. And the second, those people who have paid for the blog and video virtual event membership. If you don't have the virtual event membership, go to simpleeasyevents.com and click on there. It is a one-time thing for $97. You'll get this recording as well as all the other recordings, past, present, and future of our virtual events, including our classes, are all included for a one-time membership fee of $97. Go to simpleeasyevents.com, get that today, and I will see you on the next broadcast. Hey guys, I'm Tim Gillette. Have a great day, and it's been great helping you help yourself.